aware, alive, and about it. We're here to cover all topics, no holds barred, from politics to sports. We've got you covered. No topic is off limits. No issue is too hot. This is the AAA Podcast.
What it do? Yeah. Hey, Reggie Reg in the building. D80 in the
salute.
building.
Triple salute.
J, a.k.a. Black V in the building.
Triple salute.
Well, we in buildings, but we in the
The collective building.
Collective building. First and foremost, thank y'all brothers for joining us on another episode of AAA Podcast.
Yeah.
We're all your hosts. We are a collective. We are a unit. And the dope part about us is that we don't always have to agree, but the common goal is to educate and have intimate and real conversations about life and reality and find a common goal, or at least put the conversations out there that create bigger conversations that the people need to be had. So thank you for joining us for another episode. Yeah. AAA Podcast brought to you by Truth Entertainment Films. That is D80, the executive producer, also the man in charge who pays all the bills, because my broke ass ain't paying shit.
Are you silly?
But no, what's up, brothers?
What's happening? What's happening?
Just sitting here looking at these trades in that draft. I just noticed that
the NBA draft.
The Hawks got Murray for a package centered around picks. That includes Larry Nance.
DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, I think that's a big pickup.
We'll save it for sports. Don't do it now. We'll save it for sports. First and foremost, Reggie, you got anything new going on in your world, or D80 also? Any brothers got anything going on new in your world?
Yeah, we just launched the Kickstarter for the Madam in the Major. So y'all go and support that.
Yeah, I'll try to get it up on here to show the Kickstarter before the episode is over. I'll try to do it in the background and make it happen.
No problem. But yeah, I cut Reggie off. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Reg.
I was going to ask you, did you ask? Well, this is off the topic. Did you ask Wyclef what I told you to ask him?
Oh, not yet.
Please. I want you to because
I mean, this dude, he has not returned any of my texts. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, he hasn't. And Ambassador Raymond been trying to get him to return too, but I know he over in England doing this like tour thing. So, I mean, like, shoot, I need him to respond because we got stuff to do. But yeah, no,
that's the gift of the curse of him telling us to communicate directly with him with no manager. Is like now we gotta go directly through him, and he just don't have to look at his phone. Compared to it's somebody's job to do these things.
A reason why I'm passionate about that is because every time history is put in particular people's hands, it's portrayed a certain way, and it always makes people that look like me to be the aggressor or the agitator of the situation. And I don't believe that. I know it's not true. I know that's not true. I think that, people just look down on them. Well, we know that they look down on them for whatever reasons. And I think it's time for that shit to stop. I don't like that. Yeah. But as far as what I got going on, I'm black, still selling the white. I still got all the kitchen supplies you need. You got forks, cups, etc. Inbox me. Black, and I'm selling white.
What about you, Madam in the Major? You've been doing more photography for the one brother that we spoke to that we had on the podcast a few weeks
ago. You're talking about Tom Fox?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. Yeah, I could. Okay, so they have the rooftop concerts this summer. Well, every summer, right? Shouts out to Tom Fox and Great Culture, where they bring like different industry movers and shakers to do like TED Talks. And this particular one a couple of weeks ago, it was more based on health education and using AI to move that forward, right? And the one thing that kind of stood out to me, and Shouts out to Paulie Suchi. You'll meet him too. Real cool guy. He's the one that brought these people there. And the one thing that stood out to me is they really want to make AI doctor rooms where there's no physical doctor, but it's the 360-degree machine. Well, the floor to you know what I meant. Like a sphere that you're in, and they're doing all your diagnostics through AI. And they're moving to this. So basically the goal is to I don't want to say goal because that's like an agenda, but I feel like when you hear this is what you think. Is to what?
Replace us?
Replace the doctor really. Because these guys are making so much money, but if they build this machine that can handle twice the patients as fast and diagnose probably a little more accurately. And then it was like, okay, what if we have a couple of fail rates? And then it's like, well, okay, those people die. Okay, it may be a minuscule amount, but it's like still those people die. But that can happen at the hands of a doctor who's overworked and of course stressed out and in too many places at one time, which we know most doctors are. I don't know. So it was deep, man. Like it's I'm getting Terminator vibes. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, all the way up to Genesis. I see it. Skynet's here. All it needs is I don't know what that other company name was that
Yeah, and it's for the movie,
it was Skynet and then some Cyberlink or whoever is the one that built the missile silos around the world, and they linked together and their AI and their CI started talking and they made it a plan to wipe us out. and then and I'm maybe going too far, but with Starlink and what Elon Musk is doing, I mean, that provides the cloud for that opportunity to happen because those are defense systems that he's tapped into now. Thanks to Ukraine. I mean, not like in a good way, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's already here, man. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress.
No, bro, you Gucci. So what I want to do, and I did it on AAA Sports. I'm gonna do it again. And when I go into this is a serious thing. I've coming from Youngstown, I've experienced loss before. So when I say this is more not just about me, but about mental health and also about self health on every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I lost a very close friend of mine, George Eric Taylor. He did, and I'm gonna be frank, and I know some. The reality is that he did suicide by cop couple Saturdays ago, and it bothered me because I kind of missed his call earlier that Saturday. We spoke earlier in the day, but then towards evening time, I missed his call. And I knew what was going on with this brother. I knew that this former service member of the United States Marines was dealing with PTSD as well as some other different traumas going on in his life. And so what I bring this up is, let me see if I can share this picture of this brother. But what I bring this up is because okay, I bring this up again because I want to express to people mental health, emotional health, spiritual health are all vital parts of us, and they are to be taken seriously. I've lost people in life. I've lost friends. I've lost people I've known since Little League. I've lost grandparents. I've lost cousins. I've lost other people. I've lost my cousin Ty Henderson, who was D80 and tell you was like our dog who pushed us, who rolled with us whenever we decided to do. Ty was like one of the biggest supporters with all these crazy ideas. Ty Hennessy.
That was my cat.
So what up, little bro Jermaine?
Yeah.
So that experience, those experiences, but this one rocked me the most because I'd seen a brother who was hurting, and I felt powerless. And so that experience and going through that has been hard for me because I've been trying to understand why is this, not only the fact of the loss, but why is this loss affecting me? And what I've most learned to appreciate is the fact that you have dope people that come in and out of your life. And you never know when they're going to be here. when they may not be here. And when sometimes you got people who's going through shit, and sometimes we go through our own shit and we shrug it off. It's not easy for everybody to shrug that off. It's not easy for everybody to just push through it. And so, because I had friends hit me up about a month ago about D80, and they was like, "Yo, D80's over here posting some like really emotional stuff, and that's not what he normally do on social media and everything. Just like your trials and tribulations of what you went through, and like when you posted about what you went through, being homeless and all the other stuff with your mom and stuff like that." And they hit me up, and they was worried, genuinely worried. And I shout out to Sid and Nori because that's who it was. And it was like, "Yo, do we need to come to like Ohio or whatever case?" And I was like, "No," I said, "I don't believe so." I said, "My brother's just going through a thing, and I don't believe that's the case. I feel like it's more or less him releasing instead of holding these things back, and he's going through a different phase in life with experimenting, expressing, and just sharing his pain as much as he shares his joy and the things he's doing dope in life." And I said, "But if he is," I said, "I'll let y'all know. We'll all group hug him in Cleveland or whatever the case."
That's out to them.
Yeah. So, but anyways, they just out of concern. But that's dope. But I realized that's missing so much in our community. That's missing so much in our people to have that genuine care to even reach out to be like, "Bro, are you okay?" You know what I'm saying? Outside of family members, friends, co-workers, whoever the case, influential people who played a part in your life. So I always tell people, check on people you love, man. And that's the biggest thing before we jump into the it's just always make sure you check on those that you love, you care about, because you never know. We may take losses easy, but there's a lot of people, and Reggie can speak to this. There's a lot of people that was traumatically affected by the loss of Pat McCall, Pat
Dooley.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Pat Tillman. I'm talking about Pat from Youngstown.
Patrick.
Pat Dooley. I didn't hear you say. I thought you said Tillman. Pat Dooley. There's a lot of people that are affected on a crazy level. And there's other people besides Pat. So I don't want to just make it like he's an exception.
That was a great person you picked, because he's somebody that lived right around the corner from me that I was really close to. Like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it still bothers me till today.
Yeah. And you're right. And so it's taking those things serious, man, and having respect and love and appreciation for life. So shouts out to George Eric Taylor. He's the a brother who came in my life at the right time, who taught me many things, who supported and looked out. And I appreciate, man. But now that we got these things out the way, let's jump into
hold on. Can I like explain myself for a second?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's okay. That was not in relation to like in a sense venting or anything. I'm putting together an AI film using a photo from 1994. So I'm recreating that whole person. Like it's wild, man. Like that it's a freaking crazy thing. So what I was trying to do is tell the story as to how I got expelled from Watkins, which a lot of people just don't understand or know. And all of a sudden I landed in Manassas, Virginia. And it's like, well, where did this Negro come from? And I just wanted to talk about that period. But as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that, man, there's a whole backstory to stuff that's going on that people like, what the fuck? Who the fuck? Why the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
So what I called myself doing was telling the backstory before the actual story. But like I said, stuff omitted because in the actual story, you know, it's in there, but I want to put that part on Facebook, but I just kind of wanted to explain myself so I wouldn't get hit up like that. Cause they're like, well, why would I don't know? Cause I saw it and I'm like, man, I'm not explaining a lot of shit that's going on. Like I need to tell a deeper story than what I'm trying to do. But anyway, that's all. But no, thank you for sitting, Nori, though. I appreciate that.
Man, some real people, man, who will love and appreciate. and do it from their heart with nothing, asking for nothing in return, bro.
Yeah.
Sid, hey, my bro, that Sid, untechnically, but technically was our first manager, bro.
I know. I remember. Trust you, I remember.
So shout out to Sid. I'm gonna say their last names. Shout out to Sid and Nori Pazol. The Pazals up the street, bro. It's weird growing up in Youngstown, Ohio, on the north side, and you got this Jewish family living right up the street from you, right there off of Cordova, right across the street from Harding and Rand, man. So shout out to Sid and Nori, man, because that helped me and my brother with one of the dopest parts was the experience of more than just the black experience for us, and black culture.
Hey, Afro, how you doing?
Hey, Afro.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. Hey, I love how that popped up. That's dope.
I know.
Yeah, what is that? But okay, so let's jump into it, and we're gonna go off with the first thing we got on our big topics, and we're gonna jump off with the news.
In the news.
And what we got first on the news, D80?
Trump versus Biden.
Man, oh man.
And I ain't hiding because he ain't fighting.
Listen, I didn't see the whole thing, but the clips that I did see, it's a lot of pausing by my guy Biden. Oh man. But see, when people say stuff about Biden, I'm not going to deny that it's not true, especially when we're talking about his age. But the same fucking thing applies to Trump. That's just like me calling you D80 an old ass fucking man or something. And we the same motherfucking age, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially once you get past 50. Okay, I'm 53, you're 50. That's the same fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
Okay. So clearly Biden lost. If there's a loser or winner. I didn't watch the whole thing either. I thought it was very funny. I spent a lot of time laughing. And then I changed the channel to watch something else. But Papa Stones on Twitter was going in today, or X, about the loss, right? And then he posted what Time Magazine posted about their loss. Not their loss, but how, Biden lost. Like it was a box and he was walking out of it. Oh yeah, hey, what's happening? So
what up, bud? D80 gonna answer that after he finishes.
So it reminded me again what I put in the text chat about Obama's 2012 loss to Mitt Romney. And rest in peace, Chris Matthews. But after the debate was over, while CNN was still doing their getting the candidates off stage and the how they hug and whatever, the families come up. Well, I don't know if they do that anymore, but at that time, families came up. And you can hear Chris Matthews on his show in the background. What the fuck was that? This motherfucker went out there and fucking. I mean, it was crazy. Oh my God. I still remember it because it was just so vivid. Like you could Google it. I'm not making it up. So anyway, Obama, in my opinion, clearly lost. His energy wasn't there. His retorts wasn't there. He just simply wasn't matching what Mitt Romney was giving it, which was so weird because it's like, dude, you're way more intelligent than this dude. You have way more experience. Well, not as far as like running a government or whatever, but as far as being a world leader, because you're the fucking president. He came out. Yeah, he came out flat, and he just let Mitt Romney do all. What kind of? Huh?
He almost bullied the.
Yeah. And people are losing their minds. Like I even sent you the picture. Like it was like they went back to Obama's high school days. I mean his college days, and took a picture of him smoking a cigarette like he about to get smoked. Like he don't like it was hilarious. And everybody bailed on him. Pundits bailed on him. The party cussed him out. Every Saturday Night Live cartoon was about him. And then the next 3 debates, Mitt Romney didn't do shit. So I say that to say this.
I want to
Not
ride
that
with you. This is
not that Biden can do anything to sway a voter, this, that, and the third. But what people are really saying is they want to feel confident in you. And you kind of didn't give them that. So
he didn't give even people who was on the fence any confidence to be like, all right, like let me justify going with you over this other asshole.
And that's what people are looking for. So that's what I'm saying. Over the next couple of debates, he's not going to go for the fact checking to a degree, but what he's going to do is promote. He's going to make you feel that what I don't know what the word is, that warm and fuzzy feeling about him. That's what the goal will be, because now he sees what he needs to do. So he's just like a fighter in the first round. You know, you kind of get a feel for it, but folks want you to swing on that motherfucker.
Hey, what they say on Top Gun? You lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. You lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone. Go. Whoa. Hey, Bud says, I think the Dems hey, Bud, I think they're hoping they don't have to.
They can't do that.
Listen, because they know Kamala can never step in the shoes.
Wait. They can't replace him.
You don't think Kamala could beat Trump?
No.
It wouldn't matter. They can't replace. That's not a thing. Like
Can you imagine her getting
unless
into a debate with him?
I don't even want to say if he died. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
Did you hear me, Jamar? Can you imagine Kamala getting into a debate with Trump?
No. Don't get me wrong. Kamala's
smoking.
All intents and purposes, she would destroy Trump, but it doesn't matter because there's other people with other. She's black and she's a woman. You know how many ignorant, degenerate people, because of those two factors, would not vote for her?
Listen, do you know how many people? We said the same thing about Obama. It's going to happen, bro.
You're right. But you know how many, for lack of a better, for the realness of it, niggas would be like, yo, she locked niggas up in California. I'm not voting for her.
Cat's gonna say that. They definitely are gonna say that. I agree.
Yeah, they said it last election.
And what it do?
It's don't get me wrong. I don't fuck with the Democratic Party because they're a sham. They're just a whole bunch of individual groups forcing themselves to work together for a common goal.
Exactly. Political leverage.
Wait. I agree with you. The problem is that the Republican Party slowly but surely is turning into the Democratic Party because it used to be one united no matter what else we riding for our party. But now they've been divided. But they still have a little bit, but it takes more coercion. Is that the right word? Coercion.
Yeah.
Coercing. To get everybody coercing or to get everybody on the same page. You'd be like, yo, we just need whatever case to win. So you get a whole bunch of people that go for Donald Trump, and then when he's in there, they can't get shit done because most of these motherfuckers don't agree with none of his agenda or know that his agenda is not for the betterment of the bigger picture. So you still have some on both sides, some legitimate politicians who care about doing right for this country. The problem is that the majority of these motherfuckers are now about keeping power, and that's on both sides.
Listen, the only thing that you can guarantee that Trump is going to come through on, he's going to deport the fuck out of some people. That's it. But the average voter, okay, I'm just going to speak from my jurisdiction. Let's talk about Ohio. I don't give a fuck who he deports or who he doesn't because it has no relevance to my life. There's no person that's here that's illegally that's making it harder for me. There's nobody here that can take my job. There's nobody here that can do nothing to affect me in any way. So you're only putting that wall up and all that other bullshit to keep non-whites out. So I don't give a fuck about that.
All right. Anybody got anything else they want to add to this? I agree with you, Reggie. That's a whole episode within itself. Anybody want to add anything else before we go to the next thing?
Well, they can't just replace Biden with another person. That's not like a thing you can do because he was voted on in states. So you would have to validate those states again, like to try to, and you can't. This is too late. We're stuck unless he dies.
Don't y'all think that they should put a cap on how old you can be? Because
No.
these two, no, I'm talking about to be the president. Because if
No.
you think about it, these people do not represent the average American, bro. Both these motherfuckers are from
Are
the
not from our
30s and
struggle or
40s.
understand what it's like for us. His dad, just because your dad was a fucking union worker doesn't mean you qualify as a fucking union worker, bro. Just because like Trump, like my dad gave me a small loan to start my career off, bro. He don't relate to us. He'll never relate to us.
Right. You're not in touch
Um,
with the average American at all.
it's not. But we've come so far. So let's move on because we got a bigger show. We got a lot of things to talk about. R.I.P. to
Oh yeah, Bill Cobbs.
Bill Cobbs. Yo, I've seen this brother. All respect this gentleman, this man, this historic
Legend,
black
man.
actor, this legend in a lot of films, man. And he's always played some humble and dope roles. So shout out to Bill Cobbs, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Night at the Museum, The Bodyguard. There's been some other films that he's been in, and he's just been iconic and true. So respect.
Bill to Bud, it's not a bigger but it's not a bigger tax burden on me at all. Because again, the only thing that illegals do in my state is work jobs that I'm not going to do, which includes picking fruit because I live in Ohio, picking vegetables. So there's no way that it can make a bigger tax burden on you. But I'm gonna tell you something. But want me to tell you what does give me a bigger tax burden? Ukrainians. They are in this country illegally receiving a social security check for over $2,000, and there's no person that cares anything about that. The second thing that's going to make a bigger burden on my taxes are the Israelis, because everything over there in that country, I work and pay for. So
Hey, you see what
illegals
Bud
don't
said?
bother me.
You see what Bud said?
Illegals here don't affect my
Right.
tax bracket. The ones that are here legally do.
Yeah. So let's move on. So we can agree, and I don't think none of us have a argument to make against it. All respect to it, hey Bud, we appreciate you. Let's move on to the next topic. The next topic would be
Steve Bannon reports to jail. Steve Bannon reports to jail on Monday, I believe. But you know, I believe it when I see it.
Do the crime, do your time, bitch ass motherfucker.
All right, go to jail.
Man,
nah.
Wow.
Nah. Hey, bro. I swear to God.
I don't know. I can't celebrate people.
I've never seen a bunch of motherfuckers rally behind a motherfucker who tried to steal the election, and there's proof of him organizing groups and people and other motherfuckers who've been caught red-handed trying to steal the election, and still turn around screaming at all of y'all that I was cheated. I was cheating, but that motherfucker got away with it. He guilty, bro. Fuck out of here, Steve Bannon. And if anybody asks, and it's not political, why my hate is for Steve Bannon, it's more of racial. It's more of the things in the groups he stood behind or pushed or promoted or helped fund that were against people of my color and other minorities, especially people of my color. So, hey, to Steve Bannon, fuck you, you bitch. Anybody got anything else to add before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, focus on your own and don't drop the soap.
Yeah. Hey, don't drop the soap, motherfucker.
Click.
All right, next up, we got Supreme Court overturned Chevron versus the U.S. I want to say that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I'm not too knowledgeable on that, so.
Hey, this makes unfortunately, but fortunately, this actually affects Ohio a lot more than people realize.
Mm.
Um, don't get me wrong. I understand that we have a large portion or group of Americans who want smaller government, but don't actually understand the role that government plays. Don't understand the fact of the things that take place or could transpire that your government stops in and protects your rights or has given you rights that need to be protected. Uh, if you think these oil companies are in favor of you, oil companies are about protecting the lands that you fish on, that you that you farm on, that you hunt on, or so forth and so snowmobile on, or whatever the case. They're not. They don't give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck about protecting the environment. Yo, the mistake by the lake, or AKA the lake that catches on fire, uh, Lake Erie.
Oh, that's what that's about.
No, it's bigger than that. Would you think those corporations gave a fuck about you, your rights, or about protecting you and your rights, or do they care about their profits and how much can they get, and how much can they be held liable for, responsible for?
It's always
Understand the
profit.
bigger picture, people. Understand the bigger picture. So, anybody else? Got anything you want to add to that with the Chevron decision and how this may or may not affect us, especially with our environment?
I would speak more on I guess I say day-to-day law. Um I think from what I was reading, it kind of puts the power back into the court system. So now you're gonna see more lawsuits and more challenges and things because these government entities that in a sense run our lives and govern things, they make rules. And these rules are based off of, these laws that are put to quote unquote regulate these industries. And if you can't enforce your laws, if you tell me that if I violate a penalty, I must pay $10,000 for, X amount of whatever is I cross or whatever the penalty is, and then I say, I know I don't have to pay that, because you feel like I violated this code. I feel like I didn't. So now I have a legal grounds to go to court for, instead of just being subject to this penalty of whatever it is that you're going to throw on me. So I don't know. It's just I don't know. Again, I'm not saying I disagree, but man, I can see another side to it. But in my opinion, man, after seeing those trips that Justice Thomaston took and people who didn't lobbied him to go on private islands and private jets and stuff, this is probably part of that.
Yeah, probably.
Because
Reggie, what you got for me, bro?
Reg, I don't think he
Hey,
heard
Jay,
you.
I'm here.
Oh.
Yo, what's up?
you got anything you want to add to that?
No, because I'm really not too knowledgeable about that situation.
Next up, we have Bolivian general accused of trying to overtake the government and causing a coup.
That's a
Hold on,
lot.
wait. So he didn't succeed?
No, he bro. Listen, bro, you automatically know if you don't succeed with the coup, it's a done deal for you. It don't matter what your truth was, your righteousness was. If you fail, the government gonna make sure you look like an asshole, an evil dude.
Yeah, I saw a tank trying to go through a door or a wall or some kind of build. I don't know. And there's like a coup is happening or something like that are going on live right now. And I'm thinking like, oh wow, okay. I think this is that same story, but I thought he was six. I thought he won. I thought, well, not he, but I didn't know it was him. But
with whoever he was representing, I thought they was gonna pull it off, but I'm not surprised he didn't.
yeah, oh sheesh, oh man, yeah, he gonna catch it. Well, he's already catching it.
Probably
I'm
are.
pretty
He
sure
got
he's
his
gonna
ass
be.
whooped many times.
He's probably gonna be executed.
On
Yeah.
TV.
On TV.
I might check that out.
Reggie, you got anything else you want to add before I jump to the next one?
Nah, he
He
should have
said he might
tried a
watch
little
that
bit
shit
harder.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he gonna
should have
watch it.
tried a little bit harder. He needed more people.
Kenya protests.
Listen, I got a couple different things to say about this Kenya
Go
situation.
ahead. Go
Now,
ahead.
I'm not
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, listen, I'm not gonna blame them for, rioting or whatever about the tax and all that shit. But in my opinion, you should be doing that about something completely different. This is what you should be rioting and having, all these conflicts about right now. Or is everybody aware of the fact that Kenyan soldiers got sent to Haiti?
Yeah, I know about it.
Right. Okay, that's fucked up. Uh, for several reasons. One of the reasons
But
is
they
that's
got paid. The country is getting paid like buku money for it.
listen. Yes, he ripped them off. He did not give them what they said. That what he said that he was going to give them. He kept over 70% of the $100 million and gave them chump change to go kill other black people. So if you're gonna sit there and riot about something, that's what you need to be rioting about. Because some of those people are going to go over there and lose their lives. They're being ripped off. So it's just
Yeah,
sad, man.
that's messed up.
It's sad that we would pay other black people to go kill other black people. That's crazy.
Hey, how else do you not make the world news? But letting black people destroy other black people's lives.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
D80, you got anything on the Kenya issue?
Um. Well. I'll be honest, man. I was trying to think about America, right? And I'm thinking, like, when's the last time we protest over fucking taxes?
Woo! And they go
And
up every year.
yeah, and I'm thinking like we're the frog in the water that just sits there while it's starting to heat up. I'm like, maybe we should take after what they do, because
Should.
you see it a day or two later, the president was like, okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong, even though I killed a
Yeah, and
couple of y'all.
they still out there fucking shit up over it.
Yeah, he was like, I'm sorry, we taking this off the table, we ain't doing this. And I'm thinking like, man, that may, and not trying to encourage any rioting or any violence on the show. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that it is interesting that if you want to be heard and you organize well, because he said they organized via not him, not Reggie, but on the news they were saying the protesters organized their counter offensives by TikTok, and the way they were able to communicate in real time. That's how they were able to, in a sense, infiltrate the government property. And well, some of them got killed, but
They're gonna ban TikTok over there
Crazy.
for sure.
yeah. But it's deep. It's real deep. But yeah, that's all.
All right. So next up we have stores in Ohio can begin to sell marijuana.
I mean, I feel that, I'm glad that, nobody's gonna go to jail over weed anymore or whatever. But that's nothing to celebrate, because all that is just a way of the government monopolizing another situation so the small man can't make any money.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. So I'm with whatever the opposition is to that. I'd rather see Michigan make the money right now instead of Ohio, because they're going to be ripping people off, and they're going to, the small businessman is fucked. So,
Yeah. DeWine figured out how to put his technicals in there before everything can go through, so he can make sure his government gets the most out of it.
mhm,
Whether it comes from licensing or if it comes from limiting, he's gonna make sure that they profit first.
mhm.
Then it'll be a trickle down effect. So I mean, I don't know.
And then the growers and all that shit, they're going to get beat out after a while too by the whole situation. So it's just
But
big business.
that's not just for Ohio growers though. This is for I mean, now granted, man, I don't know if Ohio has that infrastructure, but if they're gonna have like actual local growers, I mean, to me that would help. Not and I'm not saying that it needs to be supported or whatever, but I'm saying that would help a lot of independents, um, be established because you could actually have your own. Now, again, I got to be licensed to and regulated too. But you can have your own shop. But the way I think it's gonna go is that they're gonna have like major chains.
They are
that are gonna, in a sense, be the to not. I hate to say Walmart effect on mom and pop shops, but I just
that's
feel
what it
like
is.
I just feel like that's what's
That's
about
what
to
it is.
happen. But
That's exactly what it is.
yeah, because he made sure the government's getting their chunk.
And then, like, also what the government is doing is, say, for instance, if me or you wanted to, go all the way legit, get our dispensary, we wouldn't make anything. And the reason why is because the taxes are so motherfucking high on both ends for that shit. It just makes you do illegal things. You feel me? So it's bullshit.
Yeah. Again, he's got his hands all in it, man. Jamar, he's not playing around. It's just crazy.
Wow. Next up, let's jump into the sports.
Yeah.
Woo.
We need to put that technical ready down. Yeah.
And listen, we have to do it. Yo, the biggest thing going on this weekend is Bud says, while we jumping off of this,
What's
Bud
up,
says,
Sia?
the license and permit fees are ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the wine, he's made it so. And again, not that this is not like this in other. Oh, hey, Sia. Not like this is not like this in other states. But what he did was he made sure that the government can get their chunk first because he wants to build infrastructure. I don't know if it's like for Columbus or whatever he's doing, but he wants those building projects to come up. That money's for like, new roads and new bridges. And I mean, he's like,
no, for those that don't know, Columbus is top 3 right now, fastest growing. Actually, I thought it was recent they moved up to the top one or two fastest growing cities in America with all the businesses and things going on. And what I will say is that the wine is aware of that, but working for an entity and going through contract negotiations, the wine also realizes that he doesn't have to put on the front or facade because he can't get elected again to be governor. So he doesn't care. He can do what he wants to do and pull it off how he wants to. He doesn't care. He doesn't care because his party tried to betray him, trying to get him out the paint, but they knew that they couldn't because they knew that a Democrat could beat any other Republican that came on the ballot, so they were forced to keep it. So he realizes that his power is within himself, and if he can just continue to ride that fine line and still toe the Republican line while still piss off enough people, he'll be okay. So DeWine is no dummy, man. Props and respect to the fact that I can always respect the hustler being a hustler. And so you call him a lame duck governor or whatever you want to call him, but he realized that the power is not in the
millionaire.
Power is not in the he's the power is not in the power could be in the people, but the people don't know how to vote no more. So the people only follow the popular opinion.
That's because people fall victim to propaganda. I speak on this all the time. The worst type of
I agree with Bud.
The worst type of person from my community is the type of person that spreads the propaganda lie that voting doesn't do anything. He's also probably the most ignorant one for the simple fact that people died for it.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, next up we got sports.
Yeah. Ready? Go.
Sports. Let's go. NBA draft 2024.
Right. This draft was so mid that I watched probably the first maybe 7 or 8, and honestly, I never seen none of those motherfuckers a day in my life. Never.
Me neither.
Listen, what is it? A new Francais wave? Because all these motherfuckers. Right.
Bonjour.
Right.
Bonjour, bitches.
Petty. Like, what the fuck? I've never heard of these motherfuckers in my goddamn life.
Jamais.
One word for this draft.
Au revoir.
Mid.
Yeah. I would have to agree.
But shouts out to France, man. Shouts out to Tony Parker, man. I'm not gonna hold it against them guys. But I'll keep saying, and I'll say it again and again and again, is that there's this arrogance, this cockiness amongst Americans that keep thinking that the world will never catch up to us. And we're learning the hard way that slowly but surely the world is catching up to us. Whether it's in basketball, hell, who would ever thought in American football style football that the USA would lose to Japan? Bro, if you'd have told me,
that's for sure.
bro, you'd have told me that a bunch of American dudes who grew up playing high school football and everything their whole life. Don't get me wrong; these are not NFL players, but that was our mentality 20 years ago when we was playing basketball. We ain't got to send our best. We just got to send these other motherfuckers. And then the world catches up. And then we send our best and we dominate again. And then next thing you know, the world catches up. It happened in baseball. It's happening in basketball. And football is next. Baseball will happen. Who's the old is the old, how you say it, Otani?
Mm-hmm. Shohei Otani.
This dude is a fucking monster in baseball.
Baseball's
Yo,
been a while,
Americans, wake up. Take that bass out of your voice a little bit. Get down to fundamentals and playing this damn game and playing it the right way and pushing each other to be better because the world has been on notice. We fell asleep at the wheel. They're catching up. Anybody else want to add more to that or go into the next thing in sports, which is nepotism?
No,
it's just a deep conversation within the zone.
I'll go on more about that draft.
Go ahead. Don't. Hey, anything but Bronny. Anything but Bronny.
You know.
No, it's nepotism.
You know where it's going, bro. The thing is, listen. Before I say anything, I'm one of the LeBron James is the GOAT type guys. Okay, but I don't like the fact that LeBron James at 40 years old has such a fucking hold on the NBA like that. Like that's
because you're racist.
I'm black. Listen, I've never seen somebody just completely just control the league like that. And until this happened, I would hear people say, "Look, GM, you hating." I'll be telling you hating. He ain't doing this because if it was like that, he can get any coach he want. He would have got Ty Lue. Man, that motherfucker can get any goddamn thing he want. And if he can't get it, all he got to do is go sick Rich Paul on your ass, and you fucked. Like, how is it legal in sports for an agent to literally go tell other franchises, if you draft this motherfucker, he going overseas because I want him to go here? Like, who the fuck do y'all think y'all is? Who y'all think y'all is?
Hey, you and Diallo Band's been at it all day on that too.
Man, listen, this motherfucker is like the Don Illuminati. Like this motherfucker, I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. Like, listen, I think this man is gonna kiss me on my cheek, and I'm gonna
have
get killed.
All that power.
I'm like, man, and then when you think about it, he got to be the GOAT. He got to be the GOAT because, like, listen, Michael Jordan's sons are comparable to Bronny all day, stats, everything. And that motherfucker, the only thing Michael Jordan can do for his sons was get his sons some throwback pussy. That was about 90 years old from Scottie Pippen.
This dude is wild, bro. He said Scottie Pippen's girl throwback pussy the best my MJ can do.
Listen, this motherfucker LeBron James done got a motherfucker that shoot 30% from the field and average 4 points a night into the NBA. Well, I'll be goddamn. I will be goddamn.
Hey, if I went off Reggie Logic alone, yo,
I ain't never
seen LeBron.
I ain't never seen no shit like that.
That's a come through in a clutch for real.
Listen, this nigga is God, yo. He's God. He's God. There's nothing like that in sports. That shit is fucking crazy.
That's out to Bron and Bronny, man.
Man, Bron is listen. Bron. I'm buying all the shoes. I ain't wearing nothing but Bron's because he's God. Crazy.
D80, go ahead, D80. What you got to say?
No, I don't have anything on this. I want to kind of talk about a little bit of tennis, just a little bit, because I don't get a chance to do that if I
Yeah, I need
can.
my blood pressure to go down. This is bullshit. No, I'm just fucking
This is
around.
about bullshit.
I was just, can I do? Is that cool, or you got, you want to kind of go in
Go
on it?
ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, so in the worldwide sport of tennis, right now we got Wimbledon underway, which is a nice little tournament before everybody comes back to the States, and gets to the US Open and all that stuff. It's like the Super Bowl. This is like the preliminaries to that event, right? So within this, we got a couple, because I watched the men's side. There's a couple guys I root for. Big Tiafo, Francis Tiafo is one of my favorites. He'll be a favorite to win, but I don't think he's gonna win. And then Blake Shelton. Listen to me, Ben Shelton, young guy. He's like maybe 22, 23 years old. Man, he is just on fire right now. And then another young black guy, Chris Eubanks, which again, I don't know if he can win it or not, man, but he definitely brings some intensity to the matches, man. And I just hope to see him do something. It'd be nice to see one of these young black guys win. I know Ben Shelton came close last year, but of course you got Novak Djokovic, who is like the fucking Roger Federer of the day, and Ben couldn't beat him. And then he took Ben's sign and he went like that, and because Ben did the whole phone thing, and then after Novak Djokovic beat him, he hung the phone up on the some kind, how the Angel Reese did with the thing with the finger, all that stuff. It was that kind of thing. So now we're starting to see them get back to that situation where they could possibly clash again. However, it's going to be a lot of black on black crime before that happens, which I'm not too happy about. But anyway, but on the women's side is where I'm more excited.
Me too.
Because it's like, okay, and I'm not trying to make it into a racial thing. So, whoever online, don't kill me, but it's always a racial thing. But we are still awaiting for that person to take that Serena mantle. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting for that baton to be passed down, so to speak. And we thought, and we're thinking, and we see little tidbits of who may have it or who may not. But it's still not a solid thing. And I'm starting to believe that maybe it's really not going to happen the way we thought. We got Coco Golf, and again, still can happen with Coco because she 19, just turned 19. She still can, and she still has the the skill, the wherewithal, the drive to become a world champion on that level. But it's a girl. I don't want to get her name wrong. Jasmine Paolini that I want to get Reggie's thoughts about because it's so wild. Like I don't even know if this could be a thing, but to me, this girl's an Italian black mixed girl. She's from Italy. She was, she's Italian, like for real, like not like New York Italian. She's like actually born in the country, to mixed race parents, right? And she is, now granted, she doesn't have the height that Serena has, so the intimidation factor is not totally there. But as far as the power, the brass, the anger, that passion that you see, this chick looks, I shouldn't say chick, sorry. This woman looks like she's next in line. Also want to give a shout out to Naomi Osaka for coming back. She's still bouncing back. She's still doing her thing. Maddie Keys lost today, which, is not too good because she's another one that I like to see be successful, especially as an African-American athlete. And I think that's about it. Alicia Park, shout out to her. She's doing her thing. She's dope. But my money's on Coco Golf. I don't gamble, but I'm just saying I'm putting my money on her. And I didn't talk about Arena Sabalenka, who's like number 1, number 2 in the sport. Iga Swiatek. Those are guys. Those are women that are favorites. I get that, but that's not exciting for them to win to me. The others coming up is exciting to me. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you was kind of reading my mind because as soon as you started talking about Wimbledon, all I could think about was how much I used to love watching Serena in that one piece. That's all I could think about. That's all my mind was thinking about.
No, she, man.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I miss Serena and them.
I think she has like 6 Wimbledon championships, man. Like, and we thought Sloane Stephens was going to be that and it didn't turn out to be that. And no, and I'm not shading Sloan. She's still a great player, but again, we saw the ascension, and we automatically assumed that she was that. We saw Naomi Osaka, and we automatically assumed she was that. And we're seeing Coco Golf, and now, and again, I don't want to have to compare, but it's just going to happen. So I'm just talking about it because that's what's going to happen. But again, Jasmine Paolini, that Italian girl, man. I mean, she's got something. And then also, I was going to say this. I mean, like, I mean, so technically she's not like black. So can she take the Serena mantle? Like, does that disqualify her? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel so bad, but I don't know. Like, I got emotions. That's all.
All right. So next up, we got. Well, we kind of skipped over the nepotism thing because we jumped to the deep dive with the other sports. The Guardians.
We talked about nepotism.
Yeah, Guardians are balling this season.
Yeah. I want to say shouts out to my brother from another mother, Jimmy Leon. He took me to a game about a week ago, and we had a freaking blast. Even though the tribe, as we call them, the Gardos lost that game, it was still amazing to be there. The atmosphere is great. The energy is great. It's so many young people there now, and that's because of social media and stuff. And now that Reggie mentioned TikTok, now I see how that what they, what it makes sense as to how they got the young people to the ballpark and just really just networking and having a good time. Not even really watching the game, but still yelling when we yell, so it counts. I think, and then this my fourth or fifth game being there, but I will tell you this: Ramirez is the truth. He is just whatever it is, man. Whatever he needs to do to get this team to win, he's going to do it. Oh, he's on the screen there, yeah, and Quan as well, man. These guys are batting on fire, and I didn't see that coming. And to be honest with you, it's exciting to see, and the pitching's been really well. But Jamar, I'm gonna be honest, man. I've seen this movie before,
We
and
all have.
yeah, especially in 2016, 2017. And I still have the magazine. I just got to find it where they had the Indians on the front cover talking about this was our year to win. And we got all and that year we got to the World Series and lost to the Chicago Cubs, leading 3-1, 3-1. And they came back and won 4-3 in the World Series. So we seen the Gardos, the Indians get hot, but you don't want to get hot like right now. You want to be hot kind of towards August-ish. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's when you want to start getting yours hot. So my fear is they're heating up like this now. And again, our pitching roster is decimated. You know what I'm saying? And Sticks he's still hurt, but he's still out there trying to pitch, but he's not really much effective because he's really still hurt. But again, they're doing great. It's good to see. And again, shouts out to my brother from the mother, Jimmy Leon, for having me out there. Had a blast, but at the same time, I just know they're not peaking at what I would consider the right time.
All right. What we got coming up next is going to be about the mistreatment of horses and other animals in the racing business.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Reggie, Jamar, y'all ready?
Absolutely.
Ready.
Okay, so I wrote this down so I won't fuck it up. What I'm gonna say is not popular. It's going to challenge your beliefs. And like Pac said, there's no religion to getting shot. I'm not trying to win any converts. Now, I don't have a dog in the fight, and that pun is intended. Okay.
Come on.
But I do believe that horse racing, dog racing, bull riding, rodeo, any kind of, especially greyhound racing, any kind of sport that involves animals is animal cruelty.
It is.
And it needs to not happen. And the disgusting part about it is that hundreds of animals every year are sacrificed on the altar of sports. And because it's entertainment and it's generating money for the right people, nobody says shit about it. And it's horrible. I had the unfortunate experience of watching a horse race last week, but because
My
I,
nose.
huh?
My nose is bothering me. Sinuses.
Oh, well, what I was saying is I was watching the behind the scenes because I got Bally's, I got that package, right? So you get the behind the scenes stuff, and they're showing us stuff going on in the training room with these horses. It's like, man, we shouldn't be watching this shit. Are you kidding me? But then it got me to thinking. We don't think about the jockeys either. The stuff that these horse owners, these horse ranch owners make these jockeys go through. They got weight restrictions and height restrictions, so they have very limited things that they can actually eat. They can't really have, they can't go out and have a family. They can't go out and do certain things because certain things will cause you to gain weight and become a liability on the horse, where they need you to be as light as possible. So these jockeys, and most of them are foreign from other countries, some black, they're treated like it's so inhumane. It's just disgusting. But anyway, I'm not harping on that. But my issue is watching these horses get killed, watching these animals die, and we're doing nothing about it. Like nobody really cares. But yet you see everybody just love dogs and just love these animals. We love the animals. Oh my God, animals are more important than humans in some spaces. And it's kind of like there's no outrage about what's really happening because it's not popular. There has been some horses that have made the news about dying and getting killed in derbies, but as far as the actual protest, it's not become popular yet. It's not become, oh, it's the thing to do, so let me go jump on this bandwagon and get this thing done. And that's what I talk about when I mean like selective outrage, is that this shit should be outraging folks more so than anything, more than everything, to be honest with you, because people are making money off this. They're making fucking millions of dollars off this. And they're killing these animals. It's all kinds of incest going on. There's all kinds, and I hate to say rape, but yes, rape. Genetical. I'm being honest. Genetics being passed around and twisted because they want to make this purebred horse or do that. It's just fucking disgusting. It is so crazy. But yet we allow it because again, it's not popular to protest. So
Right.
I'm gonna step off my I'm gonna step off my soapbox on it. But I just kind of wanted to point that out there. And I mean, I got a lot more to say, but I'm not gonna say it. But I'm just saying.
Well, what I'll say is this: I've never thought about no shit like that. Never. I've never, ever, 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 ever thought about no shit like that. But I will say that you're right, flat out. It is amazing that people will literally watch somebody wow, 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 wow,
Yeah.
assaulting a mammal, um, just for fun. I've seen it my whole life. The dogs. I'm pretty sure that they're not nutrition the right way. I don't
What
know.
about bull riding when they got to inject the bull with that shot to get him to
Right.
do all that? Like, come
That
on, man.
that bull riding, horse, wild buck ride, whatever the fuck it is,
Yeah.
with the horses, all that shit. It's animal abuse. I mean, and it is crazy that the animal rights activists,
They don't say shit.
they don't say shit. They
Not a
don't
damn
say
thing.
nothing. They don't say nothing. But we could say that about a lot of things. Okay, so they protest about fur and shit like that. I could easily say, well, what about shoes? And things like that. But I would say that you're 100% right about that. I think one thing that you're not saying with the horses is, what do they do with after the horses are gone? Because I know what they do with it. You eat it.
Well,
Did you know
I
that?
I wasn't gonna get
It's
into any of
beef.
that. Well, no, horse meat has its own market, but
Yes, but
that's another
they
story.
they mix it
Oh,
with,
I don't know nothing about that.
Google it. They mix it
I don't think I
with
want to
beef.
Google that. That's disgusting. That's horrible. Oh
You
my
eat it.
gosh.
You eat it,
No,
and that's
but I don't doubt it because again, the way this industry is set up and what I've seen and what I've begin to research in these articles that just making me just give me like more of an education on things and a background on it. It's acceptable because it's one of those original sins of American sports culture. Like these things have been around for hundreds of years, right? So just because they've been around that long, it's kind of like ingrained in the American, and not just American, it's ingrained in the mental fabric of people as far as
Facts.
having horses and animals provide entertainment.
Facts.
And that's bullshit because I mean, no, I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm saying their thinking is bullshit because again, this is the worst form of kind of animal cruelty, but nobody says anything about it. But yet, they'll sit up there and protest if hit a dog, not hit a dog like with a car. I mean, discipline your dog at a ballpark. Oh my gosh, you have 6 parents at your neck. Like, why are you doing him like that? Why are you yanking his chain like that? Why are you doing that?
Listen to this. Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Reggie.
Listen to this. On the animal cruelty tip, here in the valley, if I misquote it, if anybody's reading this, please correct me. But I know it was Youngstown, Boardman, Warren in this area. Recently, in the past week, a police dog got left in the car. I've seen it on WKBN. Got left in the car, and it was, it's been, very hot recently. The dog died.
Oh, wow.
Now that's only half of the story. Listen, rest in peace to the dog. But my thing is this: why in the fuck is that police officer not in jail? And I'm gonna say why. I feel like he should go to jail. Number one, he should go to jail because if it was me and it was a regular dog, I would go to jail. Number two, if I do anything to a police dog, that's the same as me doing something to a police officer, and I
Yeah.
will probably get life in prison. So why the fuck is the officer who left that fucking dog in that car? Why is he still in the force? And why the fuck is he not fired? No, that's the same thing. Why is he still in the force? And why is he not in jail?
Yeah, prosecuted.
Lock his ass up.
It's deep.
All right, okay, yo. Everything y'all talk about is dope. Let's talk about selective outrage before we end it off, right? And I know D80 brought this up. Both of us giving our input to it, but let's talk about it.
You mean like what I was? Well,
Your main thing is to not feed off you, and we'll build upon it.
no. Well, my issue was more so. I said looking at our culture of, and this has been this way for years, but I think now pop culture has made it where it's like a mainstream where we just have this affinity for animals in our society. We have them in our homes. We bring them to our jobs now. We travel with them on our planes. We travel with them in our cars. They got spots for bikes. They got strollers for dogs now. We become this animal loving breeding society. They have dog parks now. You have dog hospitals now. You have dog resorts and getaways and spas and things that like I can go down West 9th Street, West 25th, and I'm like, man, I can't even get in that kind of a spa, but you got dogs in there. But then on the other hand, you have an industry that's literally murdering the horses that are too old to perform, murdering the horses that are injured and can no longer perform, and using them and using their DNA and their sperm to breed their style. So you're recreating that horse that just got killed. I mean, that's cloning. And then you have all these dogs who are performing these races, these greyhound races that are they're very starved and malnourished and nourished just enough because they have to make weight to run a certain speed. You call them an athlete, right? But
Yeah,
athletes
facts.
have fucking rights and they don't. So where's the outrage on the animal cruelty for animal sports? You can name a sport: horse racing, dog racing, fucking catwalking. I don't care what sport it is. If it participates with the animal, it's animal cruelty. And you'll never see any outrage about it. You won't see any protest over it. You won't go down south and see outside a rodeo. You save the dog. I mean, save the bull. Save the, you won't see it. And I think because it's not popular yet. But the minute one celebrity takes up the cause and says, "Hey, you guys are doing X, Y, and Z," all like a Taylor Swift, right? She pulls the skirt up and says, "Hey, this is what's going on in this industry. I'm mad because I went to a Kentucky Derby with my nice hat and I saw some things that I never thought I would see. And now I'm against this." Now all of a sudden it's like, "Oh no, this is horrible," because of selective outrage. And that's what our society has become. Because again, if we hadn't, in a sense, like Reggie said, you protesting fur, but you got on Nike Air S Dunks on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
where that leather come from?
Right.
So it's just, I don't know, man. I just want people to relax. And I even talk about this with young Ash. Like, when you come up with a cause you want to fight for, just understand that you're contradicting yourself in some kind of way, because that's just how our American lives are. But I want people to know that, though. Like, I want you to own it. Own the fact that you have selective outrage, because you got a job, you got to pay taxes too, you got to live in this world too. So you pick and choose your spots, because if you really wanted to keep it real, all this shit would upset you. But anyway, that's all. It's just I'm just noticing how certain things hit the meter and certain things don't, and it's a reason. And I don't think we're being real with it.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I have no disagreement. Fucked up to say, but no disagreement with you, because I believe that the selective outrage travels across platforms, or travels across conversations, or travels across scenarios, or reality of life, right? And learning that has made me respect your conversation, and also at the same time be like, do we struggle with putting out our personal feelings and not accepting reality sometimes? Like, and that was the hard part for me as a black man. Like, I personally felt some shit, but I personally went through that shit. You can call it out to what it is, compared to other motherfuckers didn't experience it, but all they can relate to was other people's experience, and then attribute that to theirs. And it may not be what it is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's like experiencing racism for yourself, and then you tell all your people, your family members, your friends about it, and then your child goes through a situation where a motherfucker just called them out because they being rowdy on campus on their college, and your children attribute it to accept it, just immediately putting it down as racism. And it may not for it, and it sucks to say this way, but it may not have been that for that moment. But they haven't experienced it, but they can more or less relate to justify their part in it to that bullshit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard. I don't know. That's all I got. I just sit there saying that, like, life is hard, and we got so many other factors that factor into it. So many other trials and tribulations, so many other stigmatisms, so many other faults, so much bullshit. Listen. I hang out. I got friends who are nothing but white. I've been with them, and we was like just drunk as fuck in the middle of Michigan, outside of Dundee, in this random bar, and they sit me in there by himself. It was karaoke night on a Friday night, or even a Thursday. I come in there, the music skipped the beat. Motherfucker was like, karaoke up. The only person who got ID'd that night. And my boy was there, Bud's in here. So I'm going to say Bud was with me. So y'all know. That's how real it is. Bud was with me with his son. We
Mm.
all go to the bar. We all order drinks. The only person that got ID in that small, in the middle of fucking bumfuck Egypt bar was me. They knew it when we went into it. They didn't know, but they just want to see for themselves if it's true, and they witnessed it. And it was weird because we left, and Bud's on here, so he my witness. We left, and somebody said some old stupid ass ignorant shit. I won't repeat it, but you know who it was. But Bud and the rest of the dudes that was in that vehicle that night was like, "Yo, what the fuck, bro? Nah, fuck that." Like, yo, I was just trying to use it, whatever case, and they was like, "Nah, bro, that's fuck that." And they was majority of his friends was all in protective mode, all in like we witnessed. And for some of them, that was the first time for them witnessing that. So when I say that, we assume that the rest being in Ohio is a gift and a curse. We assume that the rest of the world sees racial inequality. It's not always the case. A lot of people don't grow up in them environments where they have the mixed interracial relationships or mixed interracial times or whatever the fuck. Especially you go down south. Down south, they let you know right off bat if you in the sundown town. They let you know right off bat if you wear that shit ain't tolerated. So growing up in Ohio and moving to California and living in LA, I had to learn like that's not always the reality. Like you would think that LA, being LA, is open. It's one of the most bro. I experienced segregation in LA more than I ever experienced to ever live in my life in Ohio.
Oh wow.
I swear on everything. I witnessed Asians discriminated against Asians, discriminated against other minorities, and I watched Mexicans do it. I watched black people do it. I watch how they separate, denigrate, break each other down, hate, and come with nothing but nonsense in a state that all of us is like, yo, that's not the South. It's not even the North. It's way out west.
Yeah.
But they thrive on. If you go to California right now, I swear anybody who lived there or been there, you go there, and the communities are set up. It's so segregated. It's crazy. You got, bro. I swear on my life, I met a Mexican dude, came in town for our other Mexican friend who had a little bit more dealing with black people. He hung out with us, and my cousin E, and I swear to God, if I bring Brian on here, Javon, we all hung out that night. And that was his first time hanging around black people. And he had his guards up. He's from San Diego. He ain't even LA. He's from San Diego. And he was like, yo, like my guards was up the whole night because I only hung with y'all because my boy Alex, Vato, we all call him Vato in Columbus. He like, homie Alex, baby, go along. Y'all cool as fuck. He like, man, he like, I've never hung around black people a day in my life. And this is fucking San Diego, California.
You know why though, right? Propaganda. People tell them that.
I know. You know. He didn't know. I'm a 27-year-old man at the time and not having no clue. I didn't know. Even leaving California, coming here and still not understanding what Reggie said best, that propaganda, that diversion, that segregation, that preaching upon that ignorance is real.
Yeah.
And that's hard. Listen to this. And it's crazy that you brought this up. Because my friend, Afro Atheist, I had spoke to her earlier, like I was telling you beforehand. And one of the topics that I spoke to her about is that I want her to debunk something for me because she's African. And what I want her to debunk, and every case is not the same. You do have some people that think like that. But us as Black Americans, we have been told over and over and over and over that Africans don't like us. It's not true. You may have some that don't like you, but in general, The average African person is not thinking about your ass. They not thinking about you. And because of propaganda and some narcissism that where we I ain't gonna say all of us, but some Americans, black Americans, think that we're entitled and that everyone is out to get us. And ain't nobody thinking about your ass like that. But since we've been told this by non-Africans that they don't like us, it's a common thing. Rest in peace to my mom. My mom has said it to me before. And when she said it to me, I said this to her. Has an African ever told you that? And the answer was no. And it's crazy how good that shit works. Now, on the other hand, they tell them that shit too. Now, Afro didn't tell me this, but I've had other people tell me that they tell them that before they get here. Oh, don't go hang around those black Americans. Go get you a good white man. Oh, go be a good, productive citizen in society. Because if you go hang out with those black Americans, you're going to get pregnant or be in a gang. And it's crazy that these people will listen to this shit from non-black people to keep bullshit going.
That's rough.
And it's true.
Yeah. Wow.
D80.
Yo.
You've been a witness to the struggle, mentally, emotionally, physically, of our people. And Reggie has too. Can I ask you individually, and I ask Reggie next? When did that awakening moment happen for you per se, personally? When did you start to look at things different from the bigger picture, or see the struggle, or just the idealism to sit there and see like, yo, some of it might be us, and some of it might go deeper and just superficial. When I say us, I mean us from the standpoint of going through what's already been transpired upon us, and just reacting in that world and not knowing better. You see what I'm saying? Not knowing that we're victims of some shit that's been conditioned to us.
Yeah. I think it's around like maybe 2010. I'm in the juvenile justice center, and I'm getting ready to speak to a group of young guys. And before I get started, the medicine lady comes up to the pod, because at that time, well, I don't know if it's still the same protocol, but at that time, you didn't have security in pods with you. You were just with the guys, and so when the pill lady comes, they just go, because they know who to serve.
Right.
And the one kid in front of me was like, "Up, time to get high," and he gets up and he runs over to the cart to get his pills, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, why the fuck would he say that?
Because he's telling you the truth.
Yeah. And then when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh shit, this is how he's passing his time by. He can't get weed, he can't get whatever to smoke, he can't get anything like that. So what he does is he develops this 88, whatever drug he can get his hands on to get high.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time it's over, he leaves with an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's on pills.
Mm-hmm.
So when he hits the street, he's back to robbing and stealing and doing things, but now he's got a drug habit that he can't kick. That when I watched this happen, that's when I started to realize that, hey, it's a little deeper here than just black people wanting to be bad and wanting to be, hard, because what we hear in songs is something that's going on in life that we're missing, that the masses are missing. There's things that are going on in these little neighborhoods, in these homes, that the world doesn't know about. And I think that's what kind of made me like, oh wait, there's something there's something to this. So then you start talking to these young kids, as you know, like as you worked in the system before, and you start hearing their stories. And the one thing that comes up over and over and over and over and over and over and over is no father. And because of that lack of accountability or lack of fear in the home, this young man's roaming the streets to search for whatever it is that he can get his hands on because he has nothing else. And then that spirals into a whole nother thing. But you don't look at him. I mean, you look at him as the issue, him as the menace to society. He's the problem, but it really stems from a whole thing, a whole string of issues that he just got put into because of his zip code he was born in.
And systemic racism too.
That's what I said, but I didn't say it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because the zip code he was born in. That's what I said. The zip code he was born in. I tried to say it, you know.
You had it. You had it, my dog. Yo, the realest part is this. I think going from that.
Yeah, don't forget to ask Reggie.
Yeah, going from that and asking Reggie more or less his perspective on it, especially with selective outrage, is so much more from a cultural standpoint, bro. How do you place it? How do you assess it, Reggie?
Well, I think with life is just a constant learning lesson. I think that the more you grow, the older you get, I think that you should, look into things more. Um, I've never been the type of person that believes shit stinks. There's no human being on earth that can tell me what's best for me. You don't know. So I've always questioned a lot of things. I've always looked into things. I've always read for myself. I don't take a person's advice. I don't. I don't. So with me being that type of person, naturally I'm nosy. So I start digging into things and pressing on things and reading things and looking at things. And then I start realizing like where I'm from. Okay, so I'm from the United States. How did I get here? Then I start thinking about things that my mom told me. She always told me to consider the source of everything. So if you do that, if you just really consider who told you this, why did they tell you this, when did they tell you this, none of it makes sense. So then I start thinking about, to touch on a lot of stuff that D80 said. Then I start thinking about a lot of things I've seen growing up. Why are these people this way? Why are these things happening around me? How did you get these weapons? How did you do this? How did you get these drugs? How did you? And then I start thinking to myself, do black people have any capability to obtain any of these items? And the answer is no. We don't have the capabilities to import fully and semi-automatic weapons into our neighborhood. We do not have the resources to bring cocaine into the hood. We do not have the resources to bring heroin into the hood or no other drug except for marijuana. So then you start thinking like, how the fuck did this shit get here? Then I start thinking like, well, why did you put it here? Then once I figured out about why we don't have universal
Who,
health
what,
care,
when, where, why, and how?
hmm
You start
the
to
more
piece
you
it all
start
together.
digging into things, being a black person in the United States, it starts to all be a fucking conspiracy against your ass. I can't think of one situation where something happened and it's not based on racism. I can't think of one right that I have that was not obtained in bloodshed. I can't think of one. I can't think of one. So then I just start thinking like, God damn, all these damn conspiracy theorists out here, most of them are on to something. And that's my take on
You
it.
got something you want to add to that?
No.
All right. So before wait, I'm sorry. So wait. Oh wait. Okay. Don't hashtag this.
I was about to say where that sexy red at.
Getting sexy. Yeah, that's That's that ratchet ass shit I don't condone.
Bend that ass over. Make that coochie breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees.
Yo, oh my god, let me start the video. Where's it at?
Okay, AAA listeners, it's time for Black V to present Don't Hashtag This. I repeat, don't hashtag this. And now, your co-host, Black V.
Don't hashtag for this episode is going to be strictly, sincerely, and honestly, even though they was joking and I didn't even think nothing about it, it's going to be don't hashtag sexy red. Again, don't hashtag ratchet ass, snatching ass, pussy popping, coochie popping, throw it back with minimal ass attached to it, sexy red. Again, don't hashtag sexy red. You a trifling, ignorant, ridiculous, sucker ass, hoe ass, fuck boy ass type dude. If you think it's cool, hashtag sexy red. Leave that hoe alone, man. Let her fall off into fuckdom or obscurity. Don't be hashtagging sexy red.
Only fans would be next.
Bro, she is. She better enjoy her popularity while she can. Thank you, Drake, again, for this ratchet ass bullshit we got to contend with, deal with, or suffer through. And thank you, any other rapper who subscribed, prescribed, or initiated this bullshit just to get a check because some label threw it at you. She is a detriment to the community. She is what you really her and Ice Spice. I swear to God, call me out on it. Her Ice Spice are the true definitions of industry plants. No true real hype or wave behind it, but some industry motherfuckers sat there and thought like, this is catchy. I bet if we put this on a pedestal, these motherfuckers will follow it, champion it, ride with it, encourage it, and celebrate it. Those are industry plans. Sexy red is an industry plan. Again, don't hashtag sexy red. Please do something better with your hashtag. Do something better with your life. Do something better with your time. Again, don't hashtag sexy red.
Sheesh.
Her label gonna call me tomorrow.
So listen. Is anything that she says, and I'm the great debater. I'm not going to debate with you on this one though. But do you think anything that she says touches anything close to Kaya? My neck, my back, lick my pussy, and my crack.
Well, she heard 10 times 10. Like, oh my God. Don't get me wrong. I was never a big fan of Kaya. Like, even when I heard that song, I was like, okay, it's a time and a place for it. When I hear Sexy Red, and this might be a hypocrite, but I'm like, why?
I want you to get hip to that.
Like, at least Kaya looks slutty, but Kaya looks slutty enough to be like, nigga, maybe 19-year-old me drunk and never got drunk off beer before. Maybe. Sexy Red looked like I had nothing but 211 to drink the whole night.
You silly. That's Smokey Joe's.
Smokey Joe's, right? Like the oh my, it sounds like some shit. That sounds like some shit Miguel would raw dog and blame it on somebody else.
I want you to really start listening to female dancehall and really listen to what they're saying. Because once you really start understanding exactly what they're saying, and if you can pull it up where they show the words, you won't think nothing about that. Because it's PG, she's PG-13 compared to, I'll even say Lady Saw. For sure. And that's
I don't listen to none of them. So listen. She might be PG-13 compared to Lil Kim. I don't care. I wasn't the biggest Lil Kim fan either. Like, I got it. I get it.
Oh man, I love Lil Kim, man. It's one of my favorites.
And she put up. I'll give her props. Her albums were dopely written for her.
That's a fact.
But I knew that going into it.
I mean, Biggie been done
No
dead a long ass time. He couldn't have wrote all that shit.
Yeah. No
I
excuse
mean,
for
other
sexy
guys
red.
wrote, you know.
Yeah, bro. Listen, Biggie is considered a go to New York, and he's on multiple occasions whooped women's ass, put guns in their mouth, and made them do rhymes and all kind of other shit. But he's the best New York has to offer.
I don't know about that.
I just had to get that petty moment off my chest right there.
I mean, I see why you're saying it, but I feel like a lot of times people our age were very forgetful, very, very, very forgetful. Like Uncle Luke and all that shit. Man, that shit was wild.
Mhm.
I want to run. I want to run. I want to. She never the hoochie
Pop
mama.
that
Hood rat,
pussy,
hood rat,
baby.
hoochie.
Pop, pop that
Pop
pussy,
that
baby.
pussy,
Pop
baby. Pop
that pussy,
that pussy,
baby.
baby. Yo, but you know what the difference is this, and maybe
Say
it's us as parents, or maybe it's us as a society. Our parents tried our best to restrict us from that. Like, yo, me and my bro was sitting in the shower. Sorry, D80, put you on the spot. Cypress Hill, I like to get high.
So high.
Bro, he got his ass whooped when they heard him. He was in the bathroom. All of them, what the fuck you singing, boy? Pow, pow. He said, oh my God, oh my God, stop it. He got whooped singing this shit in the shower. Like, we had to sneak and listen to DJ Quick, I Like Black Pussy.
I got whooped in the shower, by the way.
Yeah, in the shower. We had to sneak and listen to DJ Quick, I Like Black Pussy. And tonight,
That was
everything
cruel and
else.
unusual torture, but nobody understands that.
That is cruel and unusual torture, and that is child abuse nowadays.
Yeah.
And it should have been those days, but that's another topic.
Exactly. You gotta be with an extension cord, man. Come on.
Uncle, yeah, shout out to no.
When I give our parents a pass, they didn't know no better.
They know. Maybe Uncle Terry should have known because he was a product of an abusive household. He should have known. So I love him to death. No disrespect to him, man. But trials and tribulations, bro. But the point is that most of our dirty rap music we got was from that nigga.
Yeah.
It's always one uncle that always want to let you hit a cigarette, let you get a little bit of beer, hook you up with your first females.
Can't hide his porn stash for shit.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, leave it right where you can find it.
Yeah, all that.
So,
yo, so anybody got anything else we do before we close this podcast off? Any shout outs, anything they want to discuss? Any issues, or just they want to call a motherfucker out?
Shout out to Madam President and the Major. Film coming soon. We'll put those links out there. Please spread the word. We need the donations. We need to make this film happen. All right.
Shout out to Wycliffe. Shout out Madam and the Major.
Shout out to Trailer Made 360. Shout out to Trailer Made Productions. Shout out to me. Shout out to Afro Atheist. Shout out to y'all too. Anybody watching this, follow me on YouTube. My name is Reginald Gilchrist. Anybody on TikTok, I got 2 pages. One is Reggie Knows Sports that I'm trying to get up and going. And my other one is Godless Reggie. Follow me.
Sheesh. Yo, thank y'all for checking in. I'm Black D. That's D80. That's Big Reggie, aka Reginald Gilchrist. Yo, we thank y'all for tuning in. This is brought to you by True for the Film, AAA Productions. Be on the lookout for more content coming to you sooner than later. God bless y'all. And
God bless it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace.